DVD Era TV back at y'all with another one live from the dirty section of YouTube. Today we gonna break down the beef with Maino and Little C's. Now let's get into it. Now it's 2001 and the Capone and Noriega shootout with Junior Mafia goes down at the Hot 97 building. And Little Kim is on trial because they believe she lied and gave false information on some of the people involved with that whole situation. So now she's on trial for perjury and she's facing some jail time. Now Little C's gets subpoenaed to come to court on the government behalf, not Little Kim behalf, but on the government behalf. He comes, and I believe at this time he was on probation for something else or whatever like that. So, he have to either he come or go to jail. He says he never said nothing to incriminate her. He just cooperated, came, but he didn't tell on nothing. He didn't tell on nobody. But Little Kim feels betrayed that he would even come and show up to testify against her. You get what I'm saying? Now, Little C's feel like she could have subpoenaed him to come to court and he would have been on her side, to testify. Whatever the case may, he felt like he had to come because he wasn't trying to go to jail. So that's where the snitch rumors come from on Little C's. Now, at this time, everybody was on the DVDs, going at Little C's, aiming at Little C's, calling him a rat, calling him a snitch because he cooperated to come to court and testify against Little Kim, even though he didn't say nothing that will put her in jail or incriminate her. They still was bringing it to him. Now, at this time, Little Kim and her childhood friend, Maino, who had a great relationship at the time, they were, in Miami, recording the Naked Truth album together. And, Maino was rolling with him and Maino was still on the come up. And he took this as an opportunity to bring it to Little C's and call him a snitch. So he got on a lot of DVDs and stuff and he was bringing it to C's, calling C's a snitch. And one of them DVDs he got on was no other than the Smack DVD. Now, this particular Smack DVD, he had a video called My Hood on there. And in the intro of that video, they show footage of Maino freestyling, getting that Little C's, calling him a rat, while introducing Little Kim to come on stage and perform her verse from Benjamin's. Now, even though Maino seemed to be the aggressor in the situation, Little C's played a big part as well. Now, Maino's on the DVD doing a live performance, and he says, F all rats. Little C's and them dudes can SMD. Now, Little C's is on the Step Your Game Up DVD by Kevlar. He responds to Maino, says, I'm in the hood all day, and you can SMD. He threw a frank back at Maino, and basically these guys were just on DVDs at the time, going back and forth and back and forth. And according to Maino, he says even though he provoked the situation, he don't feel like Little C should have said certain things back because they're not the same caliber of a street dude. Yeah, Little C's is from the street, but he wasn't on his level. So when he threw that frank at him, Little C should have never threw it back because now he was being disrespectful. So now, the beef is on. They going back and forth, trading jabs at each other on DVDs. Now Little C's is on Maino block doing a DVD. Maino gets word from his people, and he sent somebody over there to go get at C's and them to shut them down. Know what I mean? Because, at this time, when you go back and forth with people, you go to their block and make it look good. Like, look, we on your block. He not even out here. And that's what C's was trying to do. But when Maino people got there, C's was gone. So Maino said him and a few of his guys went and post up on the block, and they ran into C's. C's was 2 cars deep. They parked the cars up, and he like, yo, tell him to hop out. So, Maino spoke to one of C's people like, yo, we spoke on the phone. You good, whatever. So C's people like, yo, hop up the car. Everything good. It ain't going to go too far. He says C's hop out the car and he walks up to Maino like he want to get it popping. So now Little C's homeboy is in between the both of them. And Little C's swings, but he misses Maino face and hit his shoulder. So, Maino going crazy telling Little C's homeboy, look, move. I can't defend myself with you in front of me. He trying to get it shaken. And his man ain't want to move. So that's when Maino says he knocked him out. After he knocked him out, he said Little C's try to run. Now, this where the famous, it's nothing faster than a pew come from. Because Maino said, like, yo, he took off like pew, like it was nothing faster than that. You know, that went viral, whatever, like that. And you know, he said he proceeded to chase Little C's. And you know, the Junior Mafia dudes is like, nah, C's, don't run. So C's turned around, squared up with Maino. Now, according to Maino, he put the beats on Little C's, beat his face in. He hit the ground. He started stomping him out and saying, like, don't you ever disrespect me. Now, you know, he says C's get up. He's bleeding. He's stumbling, hitting cars. And, you know, he said he picked up the street cone out the street and hit C's with it. C's go in the car, lock himself in, and you know the fight was over. They asked Maino, like, yo, you good? And he said, yeah, I'm great. But you know, these DVDs still was coming out, and that wasn't the end of it. Somehow, some way, Maino ended up getting a Jesus head that belonged to Little C's. Supposedly, it was taken from Little C's, and we don't know how Maino took it from Little C's, but you know, it's whispers in the street, like, it got kind of crazy when he took that chain from C's, because that actual Jesus head he took from C's is actually Biggie's. So, you know, it's near and dear to the Junior Mafia people. And when I heard when Maino actually got a chance to get that chain, it kind of got real. You know, some shots may have been fired, such and such. But, you know, that's not public information, so we're not really going to get into that. But the public information is Maino had C's chain, and you know he had a song called Take It Like a Man, and even when he performed Take It Like a Man, he'll pull out the chain and show it. And it's never been made clear on if C's got the chain back or not. And like I said, it's never been clear on how Maino even got the chain. You know, when you're somewhat a person of importance, you can have things done when you're not around, and people will just do things to get in your good side when you got a little clout. So that could be the case with the chain too. But one thing I do know is this was Maino's formula around this time, like the early 2000s, mid 2000s. This was Maino's formula here. Have some controversy surrounding his name, then he'll put out a record, whether it's the Rumors record, Take It Like a Man, you name it. And, you know, it worked for him. You got a guy that just came home from jail. He's really getting in physical altercations with people. He even had a situation where a dude tried to rob him, and supposedly he shot that dude with his own gun. So it just looked good for him, and it worked for him. And, you know, that was the formula we had at the time. And, you know, only other person we seen doing stuff like this was probably True Life or maybe a Beanie Siegel. And, you know, Maino and Little C's will eventually squash their beef. And not too long ago on Maino's platform, The Kitchen Talk, he had Little C's on there, and they talked about their past differences. It's always dope to see two black men sit down and squash their beef without anybody being seriously hurt, and it's not going further than it have to. So salute to them men for that. And like I said, when I bring up these topics, it's not to restart any old beef. It's just to bring us back to a time in hip-hop when it was real and raw. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. More content coming. One.